What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday. Tester Tuesday is a series of Scentsy review videos. I put out one a week for the past few years. And I get my thoughts and impressions out to you on scents that you vote on. So this week we have 3 new release scents for the upcoming spring and summer Scentsy catalog. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week with 32% of the vote, Italian Sunshine. This is a soft, almost like a coral pinkish red colored wax. On cold sniff, it's about a medium intensity, and Scentsy has put this in the fruity category. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, cheerful rays of Italian bergamot and sun-kissed coconut shine on sweet berries and warm amber. So I like that scent description. I thought to myself, on cold, I think I get all those things. I could smell the bergamot, I could smell the coconut. It was actually a coconut berry heavy, kind of like a body care fragrance. Now, the only thing that changed for me on warm was I couldn't smell coconut, oddly enough. I just couldn't get it. I got the Italian bergamot, which is very similar to that Italian bergamot note in Spring Forward from 2018, years and years ago. And that scent also had raspberry, and so I think the berries remind me a little bit of raspberry in this scent. And then they talk about amber. The amber comes out a little bit later as it warms. At the beginning, it almost feels like a suede, and then as it warms, it gets a little bit more feminine body care. So yeah, that's what I get. Now let's talk about the family rating. My husband said, "Oh, that's nice, 8 out of 10. Erica also gave it an 8 out of 10, and Ryan gave it a 9 out of 10. So I decided to put it in Erica's room and the boys' room, so I used 3 cubes in each location. Each room has a full-size warmer and a mini warmer. So I put 2 in the full-size and 1 in the mini. In Erica's room, which is the warmers are spaced a bit further apart, it was about 7 to 7.5 out of 10 at its max. And in the boys' room, it was about 8 out of 10. And I felt like the throw, that might have been the intensity, and the throw, it just really seemed to come out of the room, maybe like 9 out of 10 for their room, for throw. Now, on day 2, I found in Erica's room it was harder to smell, and in the boys' room I could smell it better, probably because, like I said, the warmers are closer together. And I have a note here, sweet, pretty, and fruity. Now, the start of day 3, which was this morning, in the boys' room it was about 3 out of 10. Erica's room, I really couldn't smell it the greatest yesterday, so I was considering taking it out. So in Erica's room, it was probably like a day and a half, and in the boys' room, about 2.5 days. So I think if you like the scent Spring Forward, and you can imagine that raspberry Italian bergamot component, and then merge it with something like a First Kiss Fireworks, for some reason that's the scent that popped in my head, then maybe you would get something close to this. So I think medium spaces would be best for this. I don't think it would last long enough in a big area, because in big areas, scents will kind of fade away faster than if they're in an enclosed space. So I'd say a medium enclosed space, this should do just fine. You'll get probably between 1.5 to 2 days out of it. Depending on how strong you like your scents will dictate when you remove it. So will I repurchase this one? Yes, I enjoyed this one quite a bit, and where my daughter gave it an 8 out of 10 for her, that's a good mark. So yes, Italian Sunshine, I really enjoyed that one. All right, let's talk about our second place scent with, I believe, 24% of the vote. We have Wild for Wildflowers. This is a beautiful yellow, a golden yellow color. And I would say on cold sniff, this is about a medium, and Scentsy has put this as a new release citrus scent. Even though the name says Wildflowers, it's in the citrus category. And as we read the scent description, you'll probably see why. It says bright yuzu, juicy tangerine, and sweet lychee complement a beautiful bouquet of wildflower. Now, I think you can say lychee or lychee, I'm not sure. So we have a fruit, but we also have that yuzu, which is a citrus, and tangerine, which is a citrus. It talks about wildflowers. We're just going to put the wildflowers on the back burner because they really don't make their presence known very strongly at all. So if you're worried about the name and you're worried about the florals, I would say don't. This reads kind of like a sunny, bright, happy scent. I would describe this as a happy scent for me personally. And I think what it is it is in the citrus category, but okay. Picture sun-kissed citrus that has oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruit. It's kind of a rework of that where there's a little bit more lemon, maybe some orange, lime, and grapefruit. But it's not like you're getting the juice or the zest. Imagine you've been working with those citrus scents and then the smell is kind of on your hands, and then later you can kind of smell that citrus hue. It's kind of there, but it's not super punchy and intense. That's what I get from this. And it also makes me think of Anna Green Gables. A lot of Anna Green Gables books and the movies you can picture Anne kind of walking through the meadows and things like that. Picture a really hot sunny day. She's going over to see her friend, Diana, and the sun is just beaming on her, and it's very bright and warm, and you can just smell the hue of a pretty yellow flower. And that's what I think of when I smell this. So I have notes here that it's sunny, bright, and cheerful. So I think this is a really good one. It was my favorite on Cold Sniff. But what did the family think? My husband said, ooh, that's a really good one at 9 out of 10. Erica said 6 out of 10, which I'm not really sure why. I said, what makes you give it a 6? She goes, I don't know. I just don't love it. And Ryan said he really liked it 9.5. And I really liked it too. I would say between 9 and 9.5 on Cold Sniff impressions. So I decided to warm it in the kids' bathroom, and then I warmed it in my room. So in the kids' bathroom, it did okay. It started off pretty good at 7 out of 10, but I could only smell it for about half a day well, and then it just kind of got lost. And that space, is a little bit challenging for me. So I thought to myself, let me put it in my bedroom. Scents usually do well here. So we put 2 cubes here in the bedroom and 2 cubes in the bathroom, and I leave the door open, and I close the door to the other part of the apartment, so that is kind of one big area. I would say starting out it was about 7 out of 10. I was very pleased. It was very bright and sunny and cheerful. And then I would say towards the end of the first day, I really couldn't smell it the greatest, but there was times where I came in and it smelled like a sweet, pretty smell. I don't know if it was florals, but it just smelled really nice and sweet and pretty, but it was kind of on a low scale. And my mother-in-law was coming the next day, and I thought, I don't want to put a new scent in because I just don't want it to be too strong. So I left it going the next day about half a day, and I could still smell that little bit of the wildflower tone, which I think is what I was smelling. But it wasn't strong enough for my liking. So I think if you're someone that likes lighter scents, you might be okay with this. Personally, it was pretty good starting out, but then it just faded fast for me. Now, I think to myself, what does this remind me of? And I'm not really sure, but my brain kept going to, from Sensationals, a scent called Hello Sunshine. So I've smelled that before, I've melted it before. I don't have it to cross-reference. Actually, I don't have any scents to cross-reference, but that's what it reminds me of. So if you've smelled that this is kind of along that line. I think small enclosed spaces or medium enclosed spaces, knowing that perhaps you might have to change it out if you're like me and you like your scents a little bit stronger, it might only be a one-dayer. Now, will I repurchase this? Yes, it's very spring and summer-like, and I love it. But what I might do is hold on to it until the end of summer and melt it again and see if my bar will improve with a little bit of aging. I might also purchase a room spray because I really, really, really enjoy this scent. It is Wild for Wildflowers. Worth a little bit of fiddling around with. All right, let's talk about our third and final scent for the week. I was able to squeak a third one in. It is Ocean Shimmer with, I believe, 15% of the vote. This is a beautiful blue colored wax. I actually used the whole clamshell here. And it's in the fresh category, and Scentsy has obviously made it a pretty blue colored wax, just like the ocean. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, Capri lemon sparkles like sunshine alongside blue musk and a splash of sea spray. So I have a few adjectives that I have written down. I have crisp, clean, fresh, feminine, and sweet. So it is an oceanic scent, but it doesn't present like a lot of those oceanic scents from Scentsy that are masculine. To me, this presents a little bit more sweet and feminine. So I really enjoyed that. And also I enjoyed that there wasn't too much saltiness because I do not like a lot of salty sea air or salty sea spray scents. That is an alliteration, by the way. But yeah, this worked out very, very well for me. And I think Ocean Shimmer is a perfect name because you feel like you're getting a glistening kind of pretty feel from the scent. And that's kind of what the name implies. So this came across very nicely for me in the warmers, but what did my family think? My husband said 9 out of 10. He thought this was a great week. Erica oddly couldn't smell it at all. She said it was too light, and I had her smelling the tester. So I said, well, smell this. She goes, I just can't smell it. So I thought that was odd because for me on Cold Sniff intensity, it's about a medium. And Ryan said 8.5 out of 10. So I decided to put 2 cubes in the kids' bathroom from my clamshell here and the other 6 cubes in my open area. So in the bathroom, I used I believe it was a Nova 20 watt warmer, which maybe I should be using a 25 watt, but sometimes I switch things out. And I have a note that it was 8 out of 10 starting out, and I left it about a day and a half. On day 2 starting, it was about 4 out of 10. So For me, that's okay because I like to change my scents and experience scents to talk to you about, but some people might want longevity. Now, is that only lasting a day and a half to 2 days because I'm immersed in scents all the time? Perhaps. If you're an average Scentsy person, you might be able to smell this better than I could. In my open area, I thought it did very, very well. So I have 3 full-size warmers and a mini warmer. So I take 6 cubes and divide it amongst that great space. And it's not an overly big space. I do live in an apartment, but I have a note that strength and throw, it was about between 8 and 9. And I thought that was just fine. And on day 2 on waking, it was about 5 to 6 out of 10. So I did leave it going constantly. And what I did later in the day was I took all 8 cubes and put it in my Live Simply warmer. I'll take a little picture and insert it right here at how full the dish is. So it's 8 cubes in a dish. So I don't suggest you doing that unless you have an area that you can protect it from splatter. But sometimes I just do that if it's still got a little bit of scent. And I'll melt something else in the other warmers. So I really, really like this. Let's talk about what does it smell like in terms of other Scentsy scents. Well, at first I was thinking maybe it was a little bit like Orchard of the Sea, but that's really salty and a little bit more of a clean presentation. This is more feminine sweet. So it reminded me of a feminine sweet, no driftwood version of Light Side of the Force. And Light Side of the Force is extremely strong, and this one is about a medium. So medium to medium plus, depending on where you're warming it. I thought it was really nice. I think it's very summery and fresh. I think at the beginning stages, you can even open the windows and still smell it fine. As the scent is dying down, close those windows up and enjoy the rest of it. So will I be repurchasing this? For sure. I can see myself warming this quite a bit. And it was actually my favorite for the week, I think. Maybe for Wildflowers, I liked it a little bit better, but the performance on Ocean Shimmer was better. So pretty good week on Tester Tuesday. All right, so let's move to the portion of the video where I'm going to present to you 6 scents and you guys are going to vote. If you're new to my channel, you're going to pick 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning. Put those 2 votes down in the YouTube comment section and I will count them. And if you're unable to vote on YouTube, you can also find me on Instagram. It's Patricia Gates and you can put your 2 votes there. So let me just reach up here. I have 5 wax bars to go over with you. And we have the wheel. We're going to pick the last scent with the wheel. So some of these are ones that we haven't gotten to yet for new releases. So scent number 1 is going to be Pearlescent Coast. I don't know why these are in this order, but scent number 2 is Freshwater Sage. And I think I'm overly drawn to this because it reminds me of a color bedroom that we had in our first house. So scent number 3 is Desert Twilight. Scent number 4 is Sweet Pea and Freesia. Scent number 5 is March Scent of the Month, which I've smelled, but I haven't done a video on. It's Strawberries and Cream. And let's branch off for scent number 6 with the wheel. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Wheel of Names. This is where I've placed, I believe, 7 or 8 flat bottom bars. So chances are they're not going to get picked this week, but let's pick scent number 6 from this just to see. You never know with you guys. So scent number 6, what do we have, Vanna? Is Pixie Sparkle, and that is from the Fantasy Wax Collection. So, gotta love the wheel. All right, so thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Don't forget to vote, and I'll see you guys in the next video.